I'm getting ready for Thanksgiving dinner. This chocolate chip cookie cheesecake is just everything. I am gonna be making pumpkin spice sweetener. Iced pumpkin spice matcha with cold foam. Pumpkin spice pancakes. Why not make this room his playroom? Good morning, guys. I'm so excited because I am getting ready right now to go to the pumpkin patch. Going to the pumpkin patch is just like a tradition every year, specifically Downey's Farm. If you're from Brampton or like the GTA, then you know Downey's Farm. I feel like it's like legendary at this point. But if you're from the GTA, then for those of you who don't know, I actually was born and raised in Brampton and I grew up going to Downey's. So last year was actually Kylo's first year going to Downey's, and it was so special because like I said, I used to go there as a kid. So to now see my baby like going to Downey's, just everything. So I kind of want to continue the family tradition every year and just go to Downey's pumpkin patch and just always get like photos of him there so that I have like every year that he's grown up, you know what I mean? So we're going with the whole fam today, even my dad, my mom, my sisters. So I'm excited. By the way, this is like a new tripod that I bought so I can take like a phone tripod. Anyways, I'm about to film my 5-minute makeup for Instagram Reels. I'll take you guys along with me behind the scenes. But anyways, back to Downey's. So Downey's has these legendary, I can't even remember what they're called. Are they called like pumpkin sugar donuts? And I didn't even know they were legendary until last year. We were like looking for like a dessert to eat when we were at Downey's. We were just like looking around at what they have, right? And literally everything was empty, because when I tell you Downey's is like such a popular tradition in the GTA, I'm telling you, everyone goes there every year and it's always busy. So their dessert section was empty, and the bakers or whatever like said, oh, we're making more items now, so just stay tuned. But then I saw one box left and I was like, well, what's that? Let me check it out, right? And I was like, oh, pumpkin sugar donuts, which I think that's what the name of them was. And I was like, oh, I'll just get this. That sounds pretty good. They're fire. And what's funny is when I took that last box, literally 5 seconds later, someone's like, when are you guys gonna make more pumpkin sugar donuts? And I felt so bad because I had the last box. But then when I went on their Instagram, I think like the next day last year, I was like reading the comments and stuff, and everyone was talking about them. So I did not realize how legendary these donuts are, but I'm not shocked because they literally taste so good. So I'm hoping I can get my hands on some this year because like I said, they are so popular. But anyways, I'm getting ready right now. Kylo's taking a nap. So I'm just gonna do, yes, I did not make my bed this morning. Mind your business. So I'm just gonna do my little 5-minute makeup, which I actually kind of talked about a little bit in my, when we went fall decor shopping. This thing is so cool. I'm kind of whispering because Kylo's crib is literally on the other side of that wall. When we went fall decor shopping, I was like telling you guys about my little 5-minute makeup. Well, I'm actually gonna film it now for Instagram and I'm gonna do it today. So that should be fun. Look how cool this thing is, guys. And it literally goes so tall. And then you turn the little head and you can turn your phone like, it's fire. So, and it just like clamps on. Like, how easy is that? I feel like if you're a content creator, you need stuff like this. It's just like easy to use so that you can just effortlessly like document your life and post it on Reels and stuff. And that's kind of the mindset I'm trying to get into, especially with my vlogs. I feel like I've already gone into that mindset with my vlogs, but for my Reels, I want to get into more of like the document mindset instead of like the create. So kind of like that mindset where you don't need to create content, you just document your life. So I want to carry this around with me around the house and just document stuff when I do my hair, when I do my makeup, little mini vlogs and stuff for Reels. So anyways, I'm about to do my makeup and y'all will see it on Instagram if you want to see my little 5-minute makeup. This 5-minute makeup is best when you apply a little bit of face tanner, which I've been using like the night before, because face tan just like evens out, and you don't need to put a lot. Like, I'm not saying like, oh, tan your face, you know, whatever, but you just put like a little bit because it just evens out your skin tone a little bit. I don't know about you guys, but for me, my face is always a little lighter than my body. So even today, I actually applied this 2 days ago. So I should have applied it yesterday. That would have been like even better. But the face tanner just like makes your skin tone a little even. It adds like a little glow. I don't know why, but this kind of replaces foundation. So this 5-minute makeup I'm gonna do has no foundation, no skin tint, literally just your bare face and then adding a little bit of concealer, blah, blah, blah. So the trick to getting away with that is definitely adding a little bit of tanner the night before. I've been loving this clean one. The ingredients are so good. The ingredients are naturally derived. There's no parabens. Love this one. I do have a code, not sponsored. Loving Tan actually just came out with their clean tanner, which I'm so excited for, because if you know me, you know I used Loving Tan years ago for years, and I'm so excited that they came out with pure version. And I know Bondi Sands also came out with the pure one, but I looked at the ingredients on that one and it's still not clean. But Loving Tan's is actually clean. Like, the ingredients are amazing and so simple. Like, I think it's 97% organic and naturally derived. Almost every single ingredient is, and I scanned it on the Switch Natural app that I use. Love, love, love the ingredients on this. So I will keep y'all posted on that Loving Tan tanner. But why did Kylo wake up? It's early. I gotta go. I am out of breath from changing this boy, but I had to just show you guys his cute little outfits. I'm obsessed. I wanted to put his boots on him, but it's actually hot out today. So I have him in a t-shirt so that once I get some pictures, I'll take him out of that plaid shirt because it's actually hot out today. So I just put him in his sneakers instead of those boots. If you saw my vlog a few vlogs back, you know those brown boots Steph got him, so cute. But I also wanted to show you guys my fit real quick. Just some brown leggings, brown top, aesthetic tote here. I packed some food. I'm legit out of breath, y'all. Getting a toddler dressed is no joke. Plus having to do his hair. Whew. Child, I could not even imagine having a girl and having to like, you know, style her hair. At least with him, it's literally just putting cream in and like brushing it out. Okay, mommy's out of breath. Let's go, buddy. We're gonna go to pumpkin patch. All right, let's go, buddy. The car is behind us.
I didn't know. I didn't know. I didn't know. Yo, he's so friendly. Oh, he's very friendly. He's doing random kisses to people. I'm big and strong. Boom, boom, boom.
Of course, the one day we come to the pumpkin patch is the one day where he's teething like really bad and he only had a 45-minute nap. So he's a little on the cranky side, but he's so content with that dried corn in his hand. Are you happy with your corn?
Good job.
Yeah.
He loves putting stuff into things.
Jessica's feet are literally stuck. Bro, Jessica keeps falling.
Yes,
Plus comme ça, c'est
yeah, good job, guys.
Non, non, va.
Vroom, vroom. Vroom, vroom.
See,
Vroom.
Not my dad on the tractor. I'm so dead. Jessica is struggling. She said it's heavy. Pedal, girl, pedal.
oh my God. We have to hurry up and drive around the road.
Kick it. Yeah, kick it.
What do you call a rooster? Who wakes you up at the same time every morning?
What do you call a rooster like that?
You'd call that kind of a rooster an alarm clock.
This looks so good. Jessica's got her pumpkins. This is the little store that they have. It's so homey and it literally smells like fall because it just smells like pumpkin and cinnamon and apple. And here they are. Good morning, guys. It is 2 days after the pumpkin patch, so I was working all day yesterday, so not much vlogging going on, but I wanted to pop the camera on because I am going to be making pumpkin spice sweetener for my matchas and my iced coffee. So I don't really drink iced coffee, but I figured since it's my first time trying this, I feel like trying it with a coffee is a safer bet than trying it with matcha. You know what I mean? Because I think pumpkin spice matcha would be good, but like I said, I feel like it's a safer bet for the coffee. So we're gonna make pumpkin spice sweetener today, which I already was like, okay, I want to make my own because I see all of the ones at the stores and I look at the ingredients and I'm like, this is wild. There's gums in there, which is a big stomach irritant. It really irritates the lining of your stomach. Very inflammatory as well. And a lot of them have seed oils, which you guys know I've tried to eliminate seed oils like almost completely. I still like one or two things it's hard to find alternatives for, but 95% of the food in my home does not have seed oils, but they're also just like loaded with sugar. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make my own homemade healthy pumpkin spice sweetener so that I can also be a pumpkin spice girly, but I also don't have to like kill myself doing it, you know? So I actually filmed my morning routine the other day and we made pumpkin banana bread, which was a hit. It literally tasted so good. It didn't even last the whole day. Like it was literally gone by that night. But I have a lot of extra pumpkin puree and I'm like, okay, perfect, because that's what I need to make the pumpkin sweetener, but I feel like there's still gonna be more left. So I figured Kylo is out of his frozen pancake stash. I showed you guys in the last vlog that I make his 3-ingredient pancakes, and I'm like, okay, today, let me put some pumpkin in his pancakes and we can do like a pumpkin spice pancakes for him. Kylo, we are just embracing the fall season this year. They usually need about 4 minutes on the first side and just like 2 to 3 on the second side. You only flip it once you see the edges start to firm up or once you start to see little bubbles pop in the center. They turned out so good. Take a bite. So I can't remember if I mentioned it, but like I said, I was already thinking about making my own pumpkin spice sweetener, and then I came across this recipe on Instagram and I was like, okay, perfect. I'm just gonna follow hers because it looked like it turned out really good. So let's try. Anyone else's toddler just break into full opera? You see how the color darkened a bit? That's what you're kind of looking for because you want to almost just like cook the pumpkin a little bit. So the recipe says 1 to 4 tablespoons, just depending on your sweetness preference. So I like my coffee and matcha decently sweet, but I also don't want too many calories. So I'm just gonna do 2 tablespoons, but I figured I might as well make it sweet enough so that when I make my coffee or matcha, I don't need to add extra sweetener. You know what I mean? Like this is the sweetener. So this is what you want. You want it to bubble up and caramelize. Now you just want to add some water to thin it out and then let that caramelize again. I just tasted some from this spoon and it tastes incredible, like incredible. I'm so excited to have my coffee this morning. Once it starts bubbling up like that, that's how you know it's ready. I'm actually gonna let it get a little bit more bubbly and caramelize a little bit more, but yeah. This turned out so amazing. Like I can't stop licking it off the spoon, but I'm gonna stop now. But I'm gonna make my coffee. I was tempted to do like a warm one, but you guys know I do like my iced coffees. I feel like the warm is just really obviously all vibes, but I want an iced one today. So we're gonna do iced. By the way, I lost count, but he ate like 5 or 6 pancakes. So I'm assuming that means they're a hit. So like I said, I really don't drink coffee much, but I knew that I wanted to try this pumpkin spice coffee. So I went and picked this one up from the grocery store and it smells amazing. Like so good. I think you need to steep it or you need like a coffee machine, so I'm just gonna steep mine. Oh, it smells so good. Fun fact, even though I'm not a coffee person, I love the smell of it. So with the homemade pumpkin spice sweetener, if you're gonna be doing iced coffee, you want to make sure to put it in something warm first with some warm water, because you can't just put the sweetener into cold milk because it's gonna solidify and get goopy. Okay, time for a taste test, which by the way, I got this really cute cup on Amazon. I feel like I have very bad luck with cups because I broke my last one already that I told you guys I got from HomeSense. I put the lid in the dishwasher, which you shouldn't if it's a bamboo lid, and it cracked. So lesson learned, but I love this one that I got from Amazon. You can drink it open like this, but it also comes with 2 lids. I'll show you guys. It comes with 2 lids, which I didn't even know when I bought it. I just saw it when it got delivered and I was like, oh wow, that's so cool, because this one you can drink from it directly and you can also like close it so that it's leak proof. And then this one is like your traditional straw, which I usually use this one. All right, let's do a taste test. I'm actually nervous. Really good. I just put too much water in that coffee. I actually wish I made more because I already know this is gonna go quickly. But I do have extra pumpkin, so I'll just make more. Okay, it's like 7 in the morning right now. I'm not kidding. 7:27, and I cannot stop thinking about that pumpkin spice. And I feel like I need to redeem myself because yesterday the pumpkin spice tasted good, but I watered down my coffee way too much, so lesson learned. Like I said, I'm not a coffee person, so I just don't even know how to make coffee, you know what I mean, in a sense? So I've been thinking of it ever since, and I'm like, oh, I can't wait for tomorrow to be able to like have one again, you know? Because I can't have 2 coffee or matcha drinks in a day. Like I can't, I wouldn't sleep. So it's the next morning, and I'm so excited because I finally get to have another drink. Normally I don't even have my matcha this early, but like I said, I just could not wait. So this is my little frother. I was thinking I want to do an iced matcha like I usually do, but I was like, I love the cold foam from Starbucks. So I was like, what if I make my own little cold foam? But I only have 3.8% milk, so I hope that works. Like I've never tried cold foam before, but I do have a frother right here, which I love this little guy. It actually works really well, and it comes with 2 different heads. I usually use this one because this one just warms the milk, but if you want it to froth, then this is the head you want to put it on. So I'm gonna use this head and try to see if I can make a little bit of cold foam for the top of my iced coffee. But this thing does warm regardless, but it's only gonna go to 120 degrees. So I think what would be best for this is using the little handheld whisker, but Kylo broke mine yesterday because I was letting him play with it while I was monitoring him, obviously, but he dropped it and broke it. So there's that. That would be better because this one does warm it, but it's fine. I still just really want some foam on the top of my iced coffee because I want to put some cinnamon on top. Oh, I'm just loving the fall drinks, you guys. Like I've never indulged this much in like the fall season before, and I'm really living my best life here. I have been loving this cup so much. I think it's like the perfect cup in the world. I purposely wanted one that was clear because I like to see my drinks. I don't like ones that are not clear because I'm like, I want to see my drink. It's a visual thing. But at the same time, I love when there's something for me to hold on to because the iced drinks do get cold on your hands. So I have tried so many different matchas at this point. Some extremely expensive ones, some super cheap ones, and everything, not everything in the middle. I'm being dramatic. I've tried a few different matchas, okay? And y'all know that I love the peak one. Like that one is my favorite, and it's top tier. Not gonna lie, it is actually top tier. It's a little bit better than this one, but it's super pricey, so I wanted to find an alternative, something that was just as good or almost as good. This one is almost as good. I really love this one, honestly. If you're looking for a good matcha that's not too expensive, this one's still a little bit on the pricier end. You can buy cheap matchas, but I'm telling you, they do not taste good. Like they taste bad. Okay, I've been there. All right, this one is just like right in the middle. You're gonna get a decent bang for your buck, but it is really good quality. I got this one off of Amazon, so I will link it for you guys. Mine is the barista edition, so it's just better for lattes. I know it's just like staring at me. I bought this little spoon. I do about half of this. I definitely need to make more of my pumpkin spice, hoping I don't need any more sweetener. Like I want to see if I made the pumpkin spice sweet enough on its own, because matcha does need a good amount of sweetness, you know? Little bit of warm water. If I didn't make the pumpkin sweetener sweet enough on its own, then I'm gonna add more maple syrup the next time I make it. This is where the little whisk comes in handy, but I'm gonna need to go on Amazon and buy another one. The peak one just blends a little easier. Like the peak is a little smoother, but the peak one is really pricey. And I've had a lot of you guys tell me like, oh my God, I really wanna try the peak matcha, but it's so pricey. So I felt bad and I was like, honestly, it is. So this one is a good alternative. Look how smooth that is. Trust me, y'all, I do not drink trash matcha. Okay, I had one before that was so bad and I was like, I can't do this. Like I cannot. Goodness, I'm a full-on barista, guys. I definitely would have needed like the fattier milk to get it even more foamy. Some cinnamon and some nutmeg. Iced pumpkin spice matcha with cold foam. Are you kidding me? Like, oh my God, this tastes so good. Unreal. Next time I definitely am making the pumpkin spice sweetener sweeter. I'm actually gonna make more today, and I think I'm just gonna put more maple syrup. Or I'll just do more sugar. This is literally so good. I wish that Steph was coming over today so I could make her one, because I told her I made my own homemade one, and now I just want to make it for people. And now I'm just like, here, taste what I made. You know when you make something, you just want everyone to try it. Adding the cinnamon and nutmeg on top is just like Well, I said this in my morning routine that I filmed, but if you guys haven't seen that video, I was talking about how I was grocery shopping and I was looking for pumpkin spice seasoning, like something that I could sprinkle on top of my drink. And all the ones that I looked at had like crap ingredients added, like sulfites or artificial sweeteners. And I was like, why don't I just make my own? Like let me see what other ingredients pumpkin spice is actually made of. Here's the ingredients: cloves, nutmeg, allspice, and cinnamon, and then sulfites. So I'm just like, why don't I just make my own and literally do those 4 spices together? So you can even get a jar, mix them all together, and make your own pumpkin spice. For me, I didn't have cloves and allspice, so I'm just like, I'm good with just nutmeg and cinnamon. So this is literally pumpkin spice right here. And not to mention it's cheaper, because a lot of these like pumpkin spice things are very overpriced because they know it's trending. So you don't need to go and buy a pumpkin spice seasoning. Just get yourself some cheap cinnamon and nutmeg and you'll be good, sis. There's a pumpkin spice. Healthier and cheaper. Just got back from our walk and I'm getting really hungry. Kylo just ate his pumpkin spice pancakes, but my tradition every Saturday morning is to make a nice big like traditional breakfast. So that's been my tradition for the past few months and I just look forward to it. I usually have like my cheat meal on Saturdays, so let's cook a nice breakfast together. I'm not having a cheat day today though because Monday is Thanksgiving and I already know I'm obviously gonna have like a cheat meal on Thanksgiving and then the next day as well, because I always love to take leftovers home and I feel like leftovers are the best after holidays. So I already know Monday and Tuesday I'm gonna be eating over my calories, you know what I mean? So I'm not having a cheat meal today, but I'm keeping up my tradition of doing a nice traditional breakfast for this morning. I'm just gonna like lower the portions so that it's not too many calories. So I always do potatoes, kind of like home fries when you go to a breakfast place and they just make those yummy, yummy home fries. These are so easy to make in the air fryer. So I'll cut them in these circles and then cut it down and then just cut them this way as well to make like little cubes. It's better when you make them smaller because it's not gonna take too long to cook. So I think this is enough potatoes because like I said, I don't wanna eat too many calories. Avocado oil. Montreal chicken spice. I love putting my Montreal chicken spice in this little seasoning jar because it helps keep too much of the chunky parts of the Montreal chicken spice out, if that makes sense. If you know what Montreal chicken spice, there's a lot of like chunky parts. So this kind of like helps not get too many chunky pieces. Don't be shy now. Montreal chicken spice has salt already, so you do not need salt. Hella garlic. Some onion powder. I actually need to refill my seasoning jars. I like adding a little bit of cayenne. And then this is the trick right here. You need to add cornstarch to your potatoes because that's how you're going to get that crispiness. Otherwise, it's just not gonna be good. So I know this jar says cornstarch, but this is actually arrowroot powder. I just already had the cornstarch label, but arrowroot powder, it works the same as cornstarch. It actually is just a little bit more nutritious than cornstarch, but they are, you know, interchangeable. You can use them the same way. Kylo, are you making my oven in German again? Last time I looked at my oven and it was like some random word and I looked up the word, it was literally in German. So Kylo put my oven in German and you just want to mix that all up. It actually is best when you put it in the fridge for at least 30 minutes. It'll bless you. And you just sneezed all over my oven. Toddler life. It's best when you put them in the fridge for 30 minutes. It'll make them crispier, but I don't always do that because I don't always have the time. But today I have the time because I just have other things to do. So I'm gonna pop these in the fridge. Also an update. On my last vlog, I asked you guys for help regarding Kylo's pacifier situation. If you didn't see that vlog, basically I mentioned he was teething a lot and Kylo's always loved his pacifier, but he was never addicted to it. But the past week or so, he's been begging for his pacifier. Like he knows where I keep it. He was going to that area and like sitting there crying, like asking for it. And I was like, oh no, is he starting to one, get addicted, or two, is it just because he's teething and he needs comfort? Like I didn't know which it was. Do I take it away because I don't want him to get addicted and it seems like he already is or whatever? But it seems like it was just the teething because he doesn't even have it right now and he's fine. So that's just a little bit of an update. I know some of you guys were thinking, oh, it's just the teething, and some of you guys were saying he probably could be developing a habit for it. You want more bacon? But yeah, it seems like it's just that, the teething. It would not be a traditional Saturday breakfast if I did not make some chocolate chip pancakes. I'm gonna pop up on the screen my favorite pancakes. These are the Bob's Red Mill's protein pancakes, and they taste like regular pancakes. You would never even be able to tell that there is extra protein in there, so I absolutely love them. And not to mention, I love the ingredients in them. There's a lot of pancake mixes that have artificial sweeteners or just like other other BS added in them. Very simple ingredients with the Bob's Red Mills protein ones. These are just my go-to. Granted, they are a little bit pricey. I actually need to pick up another pack because I'm almost out. Listen, I've tried a lot of protein pancakes over the years, and let me just say they're not all good. A lot of them just like taste very goopy. They don't get fluffy. They don't have that soft, fluffy taste like a traditional pancake. They just are kind of mushy and gushy and flat. Not these. These, you just mix it with a little bit of milk or water, and as long as you don't make the batter too thin, they turn out fluffy and soft just like a regular pancake. You would not even be able to tell it's a protein pancake. Y'all know I'm picky with my food. These are fire. There's no exact measurements. It's more about seeing the batter. I added way too much milk. As you can see, the batter is like really runny, too liquidy. So this is gonna result in a very flat pancake if you did that. So I need more mix. This is better, but it's still pretty runny. It's not gonna be a thick pancake if it's that runny. You're looking for kind of like a cake batter sort of texture. There you go, it's a little thicker. And then if you let it sit for just a minute or two, it'll actually bubble up a little bit, get a little frothy on its own, and it'll be even fluffier. With pancakes, you wanna always do low medium heat. And yes, I know I need to clean my pan. Please do not judge me. I'm using the same pan that I made Kylo's bacon in earlier. Just pop the potatoes in the air fryer 350 for 12 minutes. Now it's even thicker. So your pancake is going to be fluffy. And the rule with pancakes is you only flip once. You don't need to like flip back and forth multiple times. You're gonna mess it up. So just let it sit there, and you only flip once you see bubbles start to pop and form. Add your chocolate chips in now. You don't wanna add it in the batter because the chocolate chips will just sink to the bottom. You wanna add it after, and then cover the chocolate chips with batter, or else the chocolate chips are just gonna burn. Some places make it like that, and I don't like when they make it like that. I like when the chocolate chips is covered with batter. I guess it's probably personal preference. And I like a lot of chocolate chips in mine. Once you start to see these little bubbles form, so you know it's ready to flip. Kylo, you want to eat some of Mama's food? So good. How good does that look, you guys? This has just been like my tradition every Saturday morning, and I look forward to it so much. Obviously, I'm gonna have some ketchup with the potatoes. My egg is obviously a little broken, but that's all good. And the bacon's a little scraggly, that's good. And this is a good trick for your maple syrup. Like if you just pour it, the pancake ends up absorbing so much, so you just end up having a lot of calories, whereas if you just pour a little bit in the container, then you end up consuming a lot less. Okay, it is Sunday morning. I think it's still morning. Nope, it's 12:02, Sunday afternoon. But I've had the most like just relaxing, slow morning. As you can see, I look a hot mess, but that's okay because we're gonna be doing a lot of cleaning and self-care today, as I do most Sundays. But if you guys don't know, it is Canadian Thanksgiving this weekend. So I know in the US, I think it's in November, but for us, it is it the same day every year? I don't know, but it's October 9th this year. So, which is tomorrow. So we're going to my parents' house tomorrow for Thanksgiving dinner, or more like Thanksgiving lunch. Like we always start earlier just because actually we've always done that, but especially now with Kylo, like we just start earlier in the day since, you know, he starts to get cranky later on in the night and wants to go to bed obviously. But we've actually always just started early in the day because we're so antsy and like impatient. We're just like, why wait for 6 p.m. to do dinner when you can literally start eating dinner at 2 and then eat seconds again at 6? That's what you do when you love food. So I'm taking tomorrow off. Obviously it's Monday. Usually like that's when I start my work week, but I'm taking Monday off. So since tomorrow I'm taking the whole day off and it's Thanksgiving, I'm like, you know what? Today I should clean the house just so that everything is nice and clean tomorrow and for the rest of the week. I'm also gonna be baking my signature cookie cheesecake later on today for tomorrow, because that cake you need to leave it in the fridge overnight, so you have to make it the night before. I have shared that recipe with you guys. So for those of you who have always watched my vlogs, then you already know this recipe. And if you follow me on Instagram, but I want to vlog it again because I don't have that vlog live anymore and I need to have this recipe up for you guys. I'm also gonna make pumpkin cheesecake cookies that I got, like pre-made dough ones that I saw at the grocery store, and I was like, ooh, I'm gonna try that. So we're just gonna do some Thanksgiving baking later on tonight. And ooh, let me show you guys. I got some new PJs from Amazon and I was like, I need these. By the way, let me mention, because I feel like I feel like I get asked this all the time. Are you gonna make PJs for Beige? Are you gonna make PJs for Beige? Yes, that is the plan, that is the goal. But the reality reality is, as a small business, you need a lot of money up front to be able to invest. And I'm doing it all on my own. Like, I don't have investors. So that's why things have been slow with Bej. Like, I can't just release like 3 products a year. It's just, you know, I'm a small business. So definitely working towards that. And we'll have some stuff coming up. But yeah, in the meantime, I saw these PJs on Amazon and they were so affordable, and they literally have like a 4.8 or 4.9 star review and everyone's raving about them. And I was like, I need these because I love these like piped button up PJs, but I can never find them in this nice neutral tone. I'm actually gonna wear these later after I take my shower and everything because I'm gonna clean now, so I don't want to put these on. But I've already tried them on and they were so comfortable. They are a little bit see-through, I'm assuming because it's like the lighter fabric. So that's one thing too. Like when I make my own PJs, I'm gonna make sure that they are not see-through, but these ones are a little see-through. Like you can see black underwear underneath it, but when I wear these, I'll just wear nude underwear. Plus I plan on wearing these around the house anyways. Like I don't really care too much. That's definitely like, I love testing different things out because then I know when I create them for my own brand, I always like make what I like and then make it better, like perfect it. But anyways, then I saw from on Amazon as well, another brand, the photo looked like a different color. So I was like, okay, I want like 2 different neutrals, right? Like this looked like a darker neutral, like this looked like a beige. And then the one on Amazon, this looked like a cream. But then when they came in the mail, guys, they're the same color. There's like a 2% difference in the color, if you can see. Like this one's a tiny darker and this one's a tiny bit more yellow. When you just glance at it quickly, they pretty much look like the same color, like 99% the same color. So I ended up returning those PJs, but I bought 2 sets of them, a short sleeve and shorts version. So I returned the long sleeve version because they're exactly like the Amazon one. So I'm like, I don't need 2. So I returned it and got my money back, but I kept the shorts version because I'm like, these are cute for summer, but I love that it came with the short sleeve. So I'm gonna also just like pair, because sometimes I want a short sleeve top but long pants, and they don't sell them like that. They automatically sell it with the long sleeve top, and sometimes I don't want that. In the winter, okay, but in fall, like I still like a short sleeve. Also, let me show you guys. I'm gonna be quiet because Kylo's napping, even though he has white noise, so he can't really hear me. But I wanted to show you guys that we're in my loft right now, that room back there, which if you guys don't know is right next to the master bedroom, and then that's Kylo's room right there. So the reason I have you guys in here is because I've been thinking we don't really use this loft. I used to use it to take photos, but I have a mirror in my master bedroom. Like this room just doesn't really get used, and we don't really have a playroom on the main floor, other than obviously we have 2 living rooms, which is amazing. I feel so blessed that we have that second big open living room, because that's basically Kylo's playroom right now, and will probably always be, because I love that it's just like I can see him, I can interact with him. Like ideally I would love to have a playroom for him where it could be open, like maybe have some sliding doors and I can see him, but then when you want your house to like look perfect, you just like close it. And then I would be able to decorate that space as like solely his playroom, but that's not the case right now. I'm gonna decorate that place as like a living room, but like make it accessible as a playroom. Do you know what I mean? So I thought, you know what, why not make this room his playroom? And obviously it's not ideal because it's upstairs. Like I said, I would rather one on the main floor, but he has that one on the main floor. So I thought, why not make this room his second playroom? So I know second playroom sounds a little crazy, but let me just tell y'all, winter's coming up and I'm like, I gotta find ways to keep this boy entertained inside, because the reality is there's only so many times I can go to a mall and walk around. Gas is expensive and I really don't want to waste too much gas just like driving around. Kylo can't stay in the house. Like kids are just like that. I feel like most kids are like that. They don't want to be cooped up in the house. They want to be out and exploring. So my sister and my mom actually bought Kylo a snowsuit. So I do plan on like letting him still go out in the backyard and playing with the snow and stuff, but it's obviously just not the same. Like the reality is you're going to be indoors more in the winter than you are in the summer. And I'm just like, you know what? I really want to start baby proofing this upstairs level. When we open up the gate to the stairs and like let him crawl up and let him come up here, he could be teething and fussy and all of his teething just disappears because he's so happy to just have a new place to like explore, you know? So sometimes I feel like baby proofing the stairs and like keeping him in that main level, sometimes he just gets bored of being on that same level. So I want to baby proof this top floor, lock some of the doors that I don't want him to get into, and just let him explore up here. I'll leave his room open, I'll leave the guest room open so he can explore, and then I'll make this room his second little playroom. I feel like that'll really help us get through the winter so that when he gets bored down there, we can come up here and he can have a second place to explore. It's also gonna be nice because I feel like I can actually decorate this room like an actual playroom, whereas the one on the main floor, it's still a part of the main floor and it's still a living room. So it's kind of like a hybrid living room slash playroom. So I haven't been able to like really decorate it like the way I want to as a playroom, you know what I mean? With all the cute stuff like the hanging alphabet on the wall, or like just cute stuff like that. Like I'll be able to decorate this room as a full-on playroom, which I'm really excited for. But I really don't want to spend a ton of money. So I think for now, what I'm gonna do, just for now and see how things go, see if he likes the space and stuff. I think for now, I'm just gonna use what I have around the house. Like I have so many things in storage already. I have playmat that I'm not using. We have so many toys in the basement that we have in storage because I kind of do this like thing with Kylo where I don't let him have an abundance of toys. So I usually don't let him have more than like 15-ish toys and I cycle them. Then when he gets bored of those toys, I'll take them away and like give him new toys. So we have toys I can bring up here. I do want to get him like an activity table. I think he definitely needs that. There's one in IKEA that's really nice. So I definitely want to get him an activity table. He's almost 18 months. I feel like he's getting to that age where he almost just needs more like activities to do. I don't know if you guys as kids are like this, but Kylo's 17 months and he gets bored very quickly. Like he'll get a new toy and he'll love it. Once he figures it out, like the next day, he's over it. It's not fun anymore for him. And I'm just like, buddy, you loved that yesterday. Like I feel like he gets bored very quickly. Right now in this closet, I have a lot of filming equipment. So I don't know if I'm going to take that out. I don't think so. I think I need this space for my filming equipment. I mean, eventually at some point, I'll probably take it out and make this like his play closet. Yeah, I probably should take my stuff out of there and make this like his play closet that he can go into and access. It's nice because it has the shelves too. I definitely think I want to lock my bedroom. I don't want him going in there. He can go in this room and then I'll leave those 2 rooms unlocked for him to explore, but then I'm going to lock the bathroom because I don't want him to get in there, or my studio. I'm definitely going to lock my studio as well. These 2 chairs were actually previously downstairs when we moved them up here because they are really not baby or kid friendly because of the sharp edges. Like you definitely could buy things to go over it, but to me, I'm just in a place now where I'm like, as a mom, I'm not going to buy furniture pieces that I know is not kid or baby friendly because I know I plan on having small children over the next few years. So I kind of feel like I shouldn't have bought these chairs in the first place. I kind of want to sell them, but things are just so sketchy nowadays. Like I'm like nervous to sell things because then when you meet up with people, things are just like hella sketchy. So I don't know how that's gonna work. I might just keep them in storage, put them in the basement. I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna get rid of that, get rid of the mirror and just clear up the entire space. So these are the door locks that I love. They're from Amazon. I really love these ones. They're very easy to use. Basically put them on the door and then you can open it so you can use a handle and then lock it. So I'm gonna put these on the doors right now. The ones that I want to lock him out of. That's how it looks. So the next step in baby proofing is covering all of the outlets, which we've already done, but we have this Wi-Fi extender here, so that's gonna need to go because he'll just plug it in and out constantly. So I'm gonna put this in my studio. Alright, I have cleared everything out and this is what we are left with right now. I left these 2 chairs because honestly, they are very heavy and they need to go downstairs in the basement anyways, so I can't carry them. So I left them for now, plus until I get some sort of like seating up here, then it is nice to have the chair so that I can have a place to sit while he plays. And then so for now, I'm just gonna put those little rubber bumpers on the arms. So definitely stay tuned for when I decorate his playroom up here. I'm putting together a super quick little lunch because I'm editing right now and I'm getting hungry. This is like one of the easiest things ever. I actually make this for Kylo a lot and he loves it. This is naan bread, which I actually want to make my own naan bread so it's healthier and just has less ingredients. Add a little bit of cheese. I have been enjoying and loving the extra calories on my little reset. If you guys saw the last vlog, I gave you a weight loss update that I have been on a refeed week, so that's been fun. A good trick is to add the spinach under the cheese, because if you add it on top, then it gets really crispy and actually just like flies around in the air fryer. And it's also a good little trick for toddlers too. Like, I mean, Kylo's never really been a picky eater with veggies, but he doesn't even notice there's spinach in it when I do this. And I just cut his like super small. Slice of bacon. These two simple things right here will elevate your pizza. Like, I'm talking just take it from basic to tasting real good. So simple, so easy, and it really does elevate it. So don't skip out on seasoning your pizza. Pop it in the air fryer. This air fryer needs a major deep clean, but I'll do 375 for about 8 minutes and done. And it is done. I kind of like almost burnt it, but then I realized it's because I usually do 350 for 8 minutes, not 375. But look how good that looks. I'm gonna start baking the cake that I was telling you about. Fun fact about this cake is my grandma used to make it growing up, and now I make it. So it's like a family tradition for, I would say not every holiday, like mostly Christmas, but my mom and sister did request it for Thanksgiving this year too. So I'm like, okay, I'll do Thanksgiving. I can't remember if I did it last year for Thanksgiving, but usually like Thanksgiving or Christmas this is good for. So it's incredibly easy to make, and it is so good. So I'll take you guys along with me. So you need a 9-inch pan. I'm using stainless steel. I got this one off of Amazon. I swapped out all of my nonstick cookware last year, I think, and I have no issues with this cake sticking in this pan. But if you want, you can spread butter, but I never do, and I have no issues with it. So yeah, love this pan. I will link it down below. It also comes with a lid, which is really nice. So to make one of these cakes, you need a cookie dough roll, and I usually get an extra cookie dough roll so that I can just cut some of it and then sprinkle it on top. You can just use like 3/4 of this and then save a little bit for the top, but I always find the bottom is lacking a cookie base when I do that. It always feels like there's not enough cookie. So I like to take one full row. Make sure your hands are clean, of course, but this you're definitely going to need your hands for. So you are just gonna break it up. And this part actually legit hurts your fists, but this is what you need to do. You just want to press it down so that you evenly cover the bottom of the pan. This legit makes my fists red after. So keep in mind when the cookie bakes, it's going to spread, so you don't really need to like worry too much. It's gonna like spread out as it cooks or bakes. I like to make sure you can't see any of the bottom of the pan. Make sure it's fully pressed out. It's gonna be easier to cut that way. And now you take that cream cheese mixture that you made. Like, look at how easy this cake is. Honestly, this is like, oh, the perfect cheap dessert. You could definitely make this like more homemade and just with like healthier ingredients, which I will say I am always tempted to do, because you guys know I do like really pay attention to the ingredients and things, but because this is something we've been eating in our family like every holiday for years, it's just such a tradition, and I don't want to ruin it by like, it's gonna taste slightly different. Not that it would taste bad, but it would taste slightly different if you changed, you know, the exact things you use. So I just don't want to do that, you know? I'm just like, you won't die once a year, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, that's why I just stick with what it is. So that's how it looks now. Like, this cake is so easy to make. It's so funny because every year my mom like feels bad, especially now since I have Kylo. She's always like, don't worry, like I know you have your hands full, you don't need to make anything, Amy, because she knows how to make this cake too. So she's always like, I'll do it, like don't worry. And I'm just like, mom, like I don't know, like she knows how easy this cake is to make. I'm like, you know it's easy, like why are you like stressing? Like it's really not that, it's so easy to make. I'm gonna take half of this, so basically a quarter. Please tell me I'm not the only one, but I need to eat the raw cookie dough. Every time. I'm gonna have to wash my hands now. So now I'm gonna take a quarter of that cookie dough roll and literally just break it up and spread it on top. This is gonna be personal preference, like based on how much cookie you want on top, but I don't put too much because the whole point of this dessert is that you like have a significant amount of that cream cheese showing on the top. If you put too much cookie dough on the top, then it's gonna cover it completely, but it really is personal preference. Like maybe you just like that, you know what I mean? But this is just how my family eats it. You kind of just sprinkle a little bit, which is why I only used a quarter of that roll and not even half. I'm just putting the cake in the oven now. Kylo Kylo wants me to hold him. He's been very clingy, so I can't even get a nice little camera angle for you guys. But that goes in for about 30 to 35 minutes. You have to just like, every oven is different. For me, 33 minutes is perfect. Yes, me! And it's on 350. Also, you might be wondering if I'm making 2 of them, why did I only put 1 in? And that's because years ago when I made this cake, I put both of the cakes in at the same time and they did not turn out right. Like, I can't even explain it. The cheese turned out like almost undercooked. Maybe it's because if you put 2 in, you need to do more time, like more than 33 minutes. It kind of didn't turn out good, and it was like for a family holiday. It ended up being fine, but I've been scarred ever since. Like, I no longer will put 2 in at the same time. The actual recipe does say center of the oven, so maybe it does matter. Y'all know that baking is very scientific and you gotta follow the exact instructions. Maybe it does really matter. So I actually have a funny story about this cake. Like I told you guys that it was a family tradition. My grandma used to make it growing up. We literally thought it was her recipe, okay? Because for years growing up, she made it and like we would tell her to make it all the time. And then one day randomly my mom texted us and she's like, guys, I just found grandma's recipe on Facebook. I can't even remember because this was years ago, to be honest, so I can't even remember 100%, but it was like a Pillsbury Doughboy, like from the cookie dough. It was like an ad that they made and it was like their recipe. And I was like, what? My grandma probably found this recipe on the back of one of these packages like years ago and didn't even tell anyone, made it herself. So for years in our family, we thought it was her recipe and she really played us. Like she played us. But anyways, now I just make it. So I will put the screenshot of the recipe here that I found. I keep it in my phone because even though I've made this so many times, I kind of memorize it. I just like to make sure, you know what I mean? I'm always like checking, make sure I don't forget anything. So I'll post it here for you guys so that you can easily screenshot it as well. But the only adjustments that I make to this recipe is it calls for a ½ cup of sugar. I do 1/3 of a cup, and I could tell my grandma used to do ½ a cup because when she makes these, they're so sweet, like too sweet. They're good, but like when you eat them, they're just so rich that like it's overwhelming. And I'm a dessert person and I love sugar, but it's just overwhelming for me. So I do 1/3 of a cup. I just like lowered it a little bit and it's perfect like that. And you know what's funny? Both of my sisters and my mom agree that me putting less sugar tastes better. Like almost everyone I know agrees. So maybe try it the way I do it with 1/3 cup of sugar. And then the only other adjustment that I make from that recipe is like what I told you guys. I do a full row on the bottom and 1/4 of the row on top. Whereas the recipe here says that you can just use 1 roll. But yeah, I've done that and it's like, there's just not enough cookie, which is their pumpkin spice cookie dough with cream cheese flavored chunks. And I was like, okay, you know what? It's a once in a lifetime opportunity. No, I'm joking, I'm being dramatic. But I was like, you know what? It's just one time a year. Let me just like see what these taste like, you know? Y'all know I've been on my pumpkin spice journey, little era. So I figured I would just try these. I'm actually gonna open them up right now. Let's taste them raw, let's do that. I'm like a cookie connoisseur, and one thing with cookies is when you put them in the oven, you want them to be cold. Like you want the dough to be refrigerated and cold. You don't want the dough to be room temp or else your cookie will fall flat. So that's a big thing, but I'm just gonna taste them. I need the oven for the cake right now, but after I'm done with the cakes, then I'll do the cookies. Oh, it's definitely hella pumpkin spice. I'm gonna put the cookies back in the fridge so that they don't get too warm. This is what it looks like. That is good. I think they're gonna be good, but I think they're gonna be the type of cookie where you can only have 1 or 2, unless you're like obsessed with pumpkin spice. I'm the type where I love pumpkin spice, but at some point it gets like, there's only so much I can have because of how like much of the spice it is, like the cinnamon. Like for me, having my coffee in the morning, I'm like, okay, I'm good. Or my matcha in the morning, I'm like, okay, I'm good. But I know there's some people that can just have like a lot of it. I just pulled this one out of the oven right now. Look how good that looks. This one has been sitting to cool. So the thing with this cake is you absolutely have to let it cool before you cut into it. If you cut into it right away, it's just going to completely fall apart. Now that the cake is completely cool, now you'll be able to cut into it and like make your little squares. So you can make 9, 6, 9, yeah, 9. You can just cut it like 3 and 3 and just make 9 squares. But I like to cut it in rectangles, so smaller pieces, just because if someone wants a smaller portion, it's already like portioned out like that. Okay, now cutting this cake and getting the pieces out intact is a task. It's a science because you don't want the pieces to fall apart. So this cake has to be chilled in the fridge overnight. That's just how it is. So it's probably easier to cut the next morning, but whatever, I've always done it before because tomorrow morning I'm gonna be busy and I just don't want to worry about it. So this is just how I do it. So for the corners, I always like to use a spoon because you're able to kind of like get in there. It also helps to have one of these, which is like a spatula, but they call it like a fish spatula. It's very thin, wide, and it kind of has a little bit of a curve. So it's really good for flipping delicate things. So I'll put that on the edge just to separate the cake from the pan. So sometimes the pieces fall apart. You are gonna need to use your hands, so wash your hands. Usually this first corner piece is the hardest. Okay, my camera died, but I used the spoon to get the second piece out too. These two corner pieces are the hardest. Once you do that though, you're able to use a spatula and just go and take two pieces out. And it's so much easier from there. And then when you want to stack them on top of each other, you need to use parchment paper so that they don't stick together. So I have all the pieces in this container, and then I'm just gonna put it in the fridge overnight. You can eat it warm as is, but since it's literally a cheesecake, you do have to keep it in the fridge overnight, and obviously to make sure it doesn't go bad. It's traditionally eaten cold, which is how I love it, but you can just warm it up in the microwave if you prefer it to be like warm, but it's traditionally eaten cold. So good, I can't wait to dig into this tomorrow. I always am tempted to have a piece, but I just like want that anticipation to build and then I'll just have one tomorrow at Thanksgiving. Kylo's little set for Thanksgiving. I wanted him to be comfy, but we still have the fall Thanksgiving vibe going with the camel color. Does anyone else have to dress their toddlers like this now? He does not like to be laying down, so that's how we do it now, right baby? Thanksgiving fit, super comfy and cozy. And I'll do his hair after his nap, even though it still looks pretty good from his bath, but it got a little messed up from his hat. Okay, I just hopped out of the shower, got my beige slippers. Guys, I've been obsessed with this combo, my mocha robe and my clay slippers, because it's just giving me major fall vibes. So yeah, I just got out of the shower whispering a little because Kylo's sleeping in the next room again, like you know. So I just washed my hair and it feels so good. But I'm getting ready for Thanksgiving dinner. I already got Kylo dressed because I figured it's a lot easier. Like as soon as he wakes up, we'll just leave the house. Like I don't have to do the whole getting him ready and everything like that. So I just made sure he's already ready and then we can leave as soon as he wakes up, because I know everyone is usually waiting for us, but I mean, if y'all have toddlers and babies, you know the importance of them having their nap. I have been loving this, by the way, the Saturday Skin Vitamin C Toner. I feel like my skin is just glowing lately, if I do say so myself. Hyaluronic acid. Every time there's like a family holiday, in the back of my mind, I'm always just like, how nice would it be to like, you know, dress up and look a cute outfit and put on makeup and do my hair? And then I'm just like, no. Like I love going to family holidays with a fresh face, no makeup, hair out of my face. A lot of times I'll wear my hair down, but in like a headband or like half up down, or put my hair up in a pony and just wear a comfortable outfit, because the reality is like, I'm gonna eat a lot. And if I'm gonna eat a lot, then I wanna be comfortable. Do you know what I'm saying? It doesn't sound fun for me to like go to a family holiday all dolled up. Like I'm gonna eat my favorite food, so I wanna be comfortable while doing it. Let me know if you guys are like that too. Are you a get dressed up for family holidays girly, or are you a fresh face comfy for family holidays girly? That is my wellness circle. I know a lot of you who are on my wellness circle watch my vlogs, so shout out to you. I'll be getting your notifications. I'm gonna answer that in a second after I put my moisturizer on. But for those of you who don't know, my wellness circle is a community where we basically chat all day, get advice from each other, support each other. You guys can ask me questions, DM me privately. We do like fun challenges. If you're on a weight loss journey, like weekly weigh-ins where you can put your weight loss journey on there. We can hold each other accountable. It's just an amazing community, and honestly, it's been so much fun. It is completely free to join, so I'll leave the link down below for you guys. We actually just did like a fun fitness bingo. That was super fun. My biggest tip for being fresh faced is putting on face tan. Like I told you guys, like I am literally not gonna wear any makeup today, just let the skincare shine. So I don't know if you guys can tell, you probably can't, but if you're a content creator, you probably can. I don't know, let me know what you guys think. But I don't know if you noticed that my screen is like, or like my view is not as wide, and that's because I actually vlog. I get this question all the time. I vlog with the Sony ZV-1 and I love this camera, but it's pretty like zoomed in. Like if I'm standing at a normal distance and holding the camera, this is is how like close it is, and I'd be like this sometimes, just depending on your vlogging tripod. Like it's so close up. I'm standing far away from the camera right now to get a decent range, but yeah, what I basically do is I add a wide lens adapter. I actually found it from Naz. I watch her vlogs and I saw it in her description box, so that's how I bought it. But you literally just screw it on the Sony like lens. It's like an adapter that you just pop on, and that thing is incredible. It like gives my vlogs this like wide view. I'll put like a b-roll here of me in the same spot in one of my other vlogs with the wide lens adapter. But anyways, so mine actually broke because I have been vlogging this week with 4K on the Sony camera, and everyone knows like Sony has a problem with their cameras overheating. It doesn't overheat in like the normal settings, but I've been, like I said, I've been using the 4K setting and it has been overheating all week. Like I'll only use the camera for 5 minutes and it starts overheating. So long story short, one morning I woke up, I went downstairs and I saw the wide lens adapter literally on my dining table and it was stuck to my table. And what do you know, I just got the overheating symbol on the camera literally. So it fell off because there's like a little bit of a sticker that uses it to attach, and because it overheated, it warmed up the glue from the sticker or whatever. So long story short, I bought another wide lens adapter, and this time I just will no longer be vlogging in 4K because this camera just can't handle it and it just overheats. Because other than that, I haven't had a problem with the wide lens adapter. I definitely recommend that wide lens adapter if you use this vlogging camera, but you hate how close it is. So good. Love, love, love that thing. And it's so affordable. It's like $50 Canadian. Like, it's not even an expensive add-on. This is what the fit is looking like. I love this sweater. Fun fact, Steph let me borrow this sweater last fall and I haven't given it back to her. All right, I'm all ready and I'm comfy and cozy. I'm just wearing some leggings. I was gonna wear like a tracksuit, but I'm like, I feel like just being in a leggings, because let's be real, you girls gonna eat today. We need that stretch. And yes, I washed my hair just to throw it up. Just pulled the cake out of the fridge. Definitely can't forget that. This bag I actually use for grocery shopping. It's from Amazon, but it is actually really good too if you're going to like people's houses and you need to bring things. The cookies actually, by the way, I did try one last night and honestly, I'm not crazy about them. I think if you love pumpkin spice, then you would probably really love it. And I do love pumpkin spice, but I'm not like crazy, you know what I mean? Me saying that after this entire vlog is like featuring pumpkin spice. But basically the way it tasted to me was more of like a cinnamon sugar cookie. Like it was very, very cinnamony. It really doesn't have like too much pumpkin, but it is good. I think you just have to like really be obsessed with cinnamon or pumpkin spice. He finally got to wear his boots I showed you guys. Steph's famous pasta that she makes every year. She made it one year and ever since then we've been wanting it every single year. Portuguese blood sausage and then just regular Portuguese sausage. Keep the pups busy.
I'm gonna have both.
Traditional Portuguese soup my mom made. Jessica made deviled eggs, but they're like all gone now. One is making fun of me because I have 2 plates, but why have one when you can have 2?
Xoxo, there's too many people.
What's up guys, it's been a few days, but I feel like I didn't get to update you guys on how the pumpkin patch went and everything like that. I also want to show you how Kylo's playroom turned out. So I haven't like actually, you know, done the full thing and like decorated it the way that I want yet. But I kind of worked with what I had already. I had a nice play mat already. I had some like things, you know? So I kind of worked with what I have already and he's been loving it. He's been playing in there and just loving having like another, you know, area of the home to explore. So that's been good. I'll show you guys kind of what I did because it honestly actually turned out pretty cute. But like I said, I do plan on like actually fully decorating it, getting a nice huge rug for there, maybe like a little mini couch for him, putting up some stuff on the wall, like some learning things. Steph actually said for Christmas she wants to get him like an activity table, which he really needs. Like he really needs a table he can sit down and eat at, even though he sits at the dining table really nicely. We do that every morning. He sits at the dining table. But yeah, so an activity table would be good because he can like do little cute activities. I feel like he's at that age now where he wants more like activities instead of like silly little toys, you know? So I'll show you guys that, but the pumpkin patch was so much fun. Like I just feel like it's such a fun activity. If you guys are watching this and you're wondering, should I go to the pumpkin patch with my toddler or my kids this year? Go. Even if you have a baby. Like last year, Kylo was 5 months old when we went and he couldn't do much, but he just enjoyed like banging on the pumpkin, seeing things, seeing other kids and babies. Like it's just so good for them. And you don't have to spend money. Like the good thing about going to the farm is like going there and being there and hanging out around the pumpkins and stuff is free, and even going in the store, obviously if you don't buy anything. But if you want to go in like the play area and stuff that we went into, you do have to pay for that. But if you're on a tight budget, you don't need to go in that area. You can just walk around, play with the pumpkins, pick things out, like, you know what I mean? Just have a nice little outing. You don't have to pay and go in that area. So I wanted to remind you guys of that, because I know, again, I mentioned this in my other vlog. I know this time of the year, like Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas, like the holidays can feel very pressuring. Like if you're on a tight budget, you can feel like, oh, there's no point in me going because like I can't afford it. But there's things you can do like just for free, you know what I mean? Like you don't have to feel pressured to do it all or nothing, you know? So yeah, it was really fun and it was cute, honestly, because like I said, last year Kylo couldn't really do anything, but this year he actually could play and like do certain things. So we went into the corn pit, which was like so cute because it's like dried corn everywhere. Obviously just made sure to watch him so he wouldn't put anything in his mouth, but he's kind of at that age now where he doesn't really put like things in his mouth anymore. Sometimes he still will, but not really much. And he had so much fun, like so much fun. Jessica got in with him, obviously, you know Jessica, she's like, I'm getting in there. Like me and Steph were like, I really don't want to dirty our shoes. But it was so cute because this little kid, this like little boy, maybe he was like around 4-ish, he came up to Kylo randomly, came up to Kylo and just sat next to him. He had 2 scoops in his hand, handed him a scoop and started playing with him. I'm like, I can't. Like, it was so cute. It gave only child energy, and I was like, that's the cutest thing ever. Like, maybe he was just looking for a friend to play with, and he saw Kylo by himself too. So he just like walked up to Kylo, handed him a scoop, and Kylo just takes the scoop, and they start playing together, each scooping it into the tractor and dumping it out. It was just the cutest thing ever to like see him interact with another kid, you know? And the other kid was so sweet. Like, he was so freaking nice. I mentioned at the pumpkin patch that he was a little cranky because of course the one day, like Kylo takes such good naps. He naps for like 2, sometimes 2.5 hours that I literally have to wake him up because it's starting to get after 2 and I don't let him sleep past 2 so he doesn't go to bed late. So he takes such good naps. Of course, the day we go to the pumpkin patch, he only takes a 45-minute nap. And I'm like, sir, now you're gonna be cranky. But he was teething, right? So it made a lot of sense. But my mom was saying to me, like, she was telling me, you're so lucky because he's such a like easygoing toddler. Like, even though he was cranky, it wasn't that bad. Like Kylo at his crankiest is not really that bad. So she was just telling me like, you're so lucky. Like, he's such an easygoing toddler. And then we were laughing because she was like, your second might not be as easy. And Jessica always says to me, girl, I pray for you when it comes to your second because you got lucky with the first. Like, I will say I did get really lucky with Kylo. He wasn't the easiest newborn, like under 3 months. He was super clingy, and then he had the worst 4-month sleep regression, but it started at 3 months where he barely slept. But other than that and after that, he honestly was such like an easygoing infant, and then now an easygoing toddler. And my mom always tells me I'm so lucky. But yeah, Jessica makes jokes that she prays for me when it comes to my second. Okay, so here is how Kylo's little playroom turned out. I kept the giraffe and the little poof in the corner. And then I just put this little basket here of a couple toys for him to play with. This little piano, I actually got this for him for his playpen when he was like, what, 6 months old, 7 months old? And he never showed that much interest in it. At around that age, all he would do is take the little cards out and bend them and stuff. So he didn't really show that much interest in it. But now that he's older, guys, he loves this little piano, and it's very like Montessori style because of the wood. There's less plastic. Obviously there's a little bit on there. He loves pressing this button right here. I'm not gonna press it because then it's gonna, oh, I can turn it off. And then you can obviously also play music with the actual keys, and he was loving it. Like, him and Steph and me were up here the other day after Thanksgiving, and he would press the song one and literally dance like this. Like, I'm not kidding you guys. Like, he had both hands in the air and was like vibing to the piano song. Like, I'm like, what is this kid? Is crazy. Like, he's just the cutest. But anyways, if you have, I would say like this is a good thing for like over a 1-year-old. I feel like under that, I don't know, Kylo didn't show much interest in it. Next thing I actually need to do today is pack some giveaway boxes. So if you are a part of my wellness circle, I actually did a giveaway on there. So we have 4 giveaway winners. So I'm actually gonna go out later and I'm actually gonna go in my garage first in my recycling area and see if I have any boxes that I can reuse. Even though that's not the most like aesthetic, I would love to get like nice aesthetic boxes and stuff, but I just feel like recycling, like reusing a box is more important and just better for the environment than getting an aesthetic box. I feel like that's not a priority, you know? So yeah, definitely check out my free membership community, the Wellness Circle. It's so much fun. It's actually been amazing just being able to connect to you guys and just in like a tighter, more private space, you know? So that's been fun. We just finished doing this giveaway. There's definitely gonna be more on there. So now I have to separate these into 4 prizes. So I will do that once I get the boxes. But other than that, it is Friday. So you guys know I love that because once the weekend is here, it's just like full mommy mode for me and I can just spend lots of one-on-one time with Kylo. Someone fell asleep on our stroller walk this morning. So now I'm trying to get him tired enough for a decent nap. It's like 12 and the boy is still awake. Wish me luck. You like ripping apart leaves. Nice. Wow, big boy.